Hey everybody, my name is Paul Esden Jr., aka Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/BoyGreen25. Before we go further, like the video, hit subscribe down below for more fantastic New York Jets content as we approach closer and closer to 5,000 subscribers. Thanks for all your support. Let's get right into it here. There has been a lot of trade packages back and forth, both actually between the Green Bay Packers and the New York Jets, and also between fans and bloggers and analysts and everything, trying to figure out what's the right compensation for Aaron Rodgers, a future Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of the best quarterbacks of this generation. What's the right price to pay for a player of that magnitude? We've heard first-round picks. We've heard multiple first-round picks. We've heard mid-round picks. We've heard players involved. We've heard all over the barnyard. But the latest package offer, to be honest, it's making me go a little bananas. It's making me go a little bonkers. But let's throw it out there. This was first initially thrown out into the universe by Rich Cimini, who covers the New York Jets for ESPN. He posted this originally on Sunday, March 19th, but it was once again brought back up at the end of the week by Rob Demovsky. He is the Green Bay Packers beat writer for ESPN, and he floated this out there. I'll read you guys the quote. And before I get to the quote, it's this. If Gang Green doesn't want to give up the number 13 overall pick, which apparently is the holdup in negotiations currently between the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers, Demovsky wondered openly on the Rich Eisen show if there was a unique way to make up the difference. Here's the quote. Quote, they're going to have to figure this out somehow, some way to get equal value for whatever a first-round pick would be, whether that's using the draft value chart to add up a second, a third, or a fourth, or whatever it would take to equal that number 13 pick. Or player. This was suggested to me. You know, the Jets had 3 first-round picks last year. One of them, the third of the 3, Jermaine Johnson, let's just say the Packers really liked him last year, and they had a first-round grade on him. Would they accept that as the same equivalent of a first-round pick? And he floated that out there and just kind of put it out there into the universe. So Rich Eisen, by the way, immediately scoffed at this, saying, why the hell would the Jets pay that price? And we'll get into that in a second. But Jermaine Johnson had an interesting tweet this week that, well, we've got to throw up on the big board here, and it's this. I will read you the quote. This was just curious timing. Jermaine Johnson tweeted this on Friday, March 24th. He took to Twitter. Here's the quote. Thank God for putting me in the position I am in today. Thank God for keeping my mind clear this offseason so I can transform into a monster. Thank God that I'm a New York Jet. All gratitude and glory to the Most High. End quote. Now, obviously in this tweet, you don't hear any mention of, Aaron Rodgers trade or anything of that nature. But how that tweet was framed, coming off the rumors of Jermaine Johnson potentially being included in this deal, you could make some speculation that he was giving a strong message to all involved that that ain't happening. By the way, several fans underneath his tweet had a different kind of quote about it, saying, quote, here's one Jet fan on Twitter. JJ, you're playing a position that takes time to excel. Year 2 will be huge for you. I'd rather have Zach Wilson as quarterback than you included in a trade for any quarterback in the league. Obviously talking about the rumors. Guys, I will also say in the middle of us doing this video, if you'd like to follow along, I've got a full column down below from Heavy on Jets, one that I wrote up about this crazy idea that the Jets may be forced to include one of their top picks from the 2022 NFL draft in this friggin' trade for Aaron Rodgers, which, by the way, if you haven't guessed already, is friggin' bananas. There is no way in hell that I'm doing this if I'm the New York Jets. It just doesn't make any sense. Aaron Rodgers is 39 years of age. He has openly contemplated retirement. The Packers have talked about him in the past tense. They have already committed to Jordan Love being the guy. Why would the Jets pay an obscene price for no reason? Now, I've heard Packers fans say, well, isn't Aaron Rodgers worth a first-round pick? The difference between being worth something and having to pay it are different things. Joe Douglas in his trade history has gotten great value out of players. Now, with Sam Darnold, is he really worth a second, fourth, and a sixth? Absolutely not. Is Jamal Adams really worth 2 first-round picks? No. It's not what the player's worth. It's what you can get for him. And in this particular case, Green Bay's bent over the barrel. They have to trade Aaron Rodgers. They're not paying him $60 million to be the backup. They want to turn the keys over to Jordan Love. They're not bringing Rodgers back and then putting Jordan Love on the bench. So it's not a matter of if this trade is going to happen. It's simply when to figure this out. And let's just go through the nitty-gritty details here on the Jermaine Johnson floating around trade people have talked about. The 24-year-old still has 3 years left on his rookie contract, plus the fifth-year option. So he could be under contract with the New York Jets through the 2026 season. Now, I get why some people are trying to speculate on why potentially Johnson could be included. He only appeared in 34% of the defensive snaps last year per Pro Football Reference, and he didn't start a single game. But he is expected to get a major uptick in playing time and all things of that nature next season. And also, the Jets should not be in the position of handing away young players with team control in terms of this Aaron Rodgers trade. If I'm the New York Jets, I'm kind of staying away from the players in general. Obviously, Sauce, go kick rocks. Garrett Wilson, kiss my ass. You know, it's like the Christmas Vacation scene. Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass. Happy Hanukkah. Like, hell no. There's a -% chance that's happening for me. If you want, like the Green Bay Packers are hell-bent on getting players. I've got a few players. Players on expiring deals. Corey Davis, you can have him. Denzo Mims, sure. Or players that are buried on the depth chart, like Jeremy Ruckert, who's third in line at tight end, and the Jets restructured both of the contracts of C.J. Uzomah and Tyler Conklin. Okay, you want like Jeremy Ruckert. All right, we'll talk. Mims, Corey Davis, Bryce Hall, Ashton Davis. Like, you want one of those guys? Sure. Okay, let's talk. But Jermaine Johnson, whoa. It's that line from Anchorman where he's like, why don't you go sit down for a while? Take a break. Just kind of chill, because any Packers people asking for this are going to be severely disappointed when ultimately they get the package back. It's going to be, again, I don't give predictions. I give spoiler alerts, baby. It's going to be a second this year, a third or fourth in the future that's conditional, and then some of those expiring player contracts or guys that are buried that I talked about. That's it. That's what it's going to be. So Packers fans, the sooner you guys accept that, the better off we're all going to be. We could talk about leverage this way or leverage that way. The fact of the matter is this. We all know Aaron Rodgers is going to be a member of the Jets. Again, it is not a matter of if, it's when. So we could figure out the inevitable here and get this done. But I just want to say on behalf of Jermaine Johnson, on behalf of the New York Jets, kick rocks, pal. There is a 0% chance that you're getting your hands, excuse me, on this young man. It absolutely is not happening. So Rob Domofsky, Rich Cimini, and Rich Eisen scoffed at the idea, and for good reason. Also, Domofsky said, here's an interesting one, that the Jets are perceived to be, quote-unquote, lowballing the Green Bay Packers from what Rob Domofsky's been told. Now, what that means, I don't know exactly, but the Packers feel like they're in a position of leverage right now, quote, Domofsky on the Rich Eisen show earlier this week. Again, leverage this, leverage that. There's no way. And Joe Douglas, by the way, has never lost a trade. And if you want to say one trade, maybe Elijah Moore. But again, I don't think you could judge that trade in a vacuum until we understand what's coming down the line here if that pick is involved in Aaron Rodgers. Again, if you get rid of Elijah Moore for Aaron Rodgers, okay, we could kind of talk about it. But for the fact of the matter is, the New York Jets are doing the right thing here. So I'm glad that Jermaine Johnson came out. Now, while he didn't specifically say it, it was kind of a wink, wink. I think we all know. And it's great to know that Jermaine Johnson's going to be here in 2023 and for the foreseeable future. So Packers fans, dream on. Aerosmith, dream on. Not happening, pal. Not happening. So take that trade. Take it or leave it, pal. That's the offer. That's the offer for Aaron Rodgers. Second this year, conditional pick in 2024, 2025, and he can take some of those rando players that have said, that's it. Final offer, deal or no deal. Slide across the table. And we'll let you think about it. We'll see what happens. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in for this quick vid. Again, like the video, hit subscribe down below for more juicy Jets content. You can also read the full column down below via Heavy on Jets, talking about this wild possibility that apparently is gaining steam on social media. Hopefully it's not gaining steam with the Jets and Packers, because I will lose my gosh darn bananas as far as that's concerned. And we appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and hopefully sooner rather than later we're actually talking about the actual trade between these two teams, as long as it does not include Jermaine gosh darn Johnson.